And we're live. Sweet. What's going on, everybody? Huge game in Washington tonight. Montreal Canadiens, Washington Capitals. Montreal has to win this game to have a chance to make the playoffs. If Montreal loses this game, there is virtually no chance of them going to the playoffs. Columbus is going to win the tiebreaker over them. So if they do happen to finish tied in points, Columbus gets the tiebreaker because they have more regulation and overtime wins. And Columbus has a much easier schedule than Montreal to end the season. Columbus has the Rangers and then Ottawa to end the year, two non-playoff teams. So this is an absolutely huge game for the Canadiens, a huge game in the NHL. And it should be a really good one. So I can see there's a lot of you in the chat already. What's going on, guys? Thank you all for being here. Wow, I think this is the first time I've had this many people in the chat this soon, literally within a minute. So thank you guys all for watching. I really appreciate it. Hello to everybody. A lot of familiar names in here. Oh, that's all right, Panther. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really tough for Montreal to get into the playoffs at this point. They have to win out, and Columbus needs to lose a game. If they can win out and Columbus loses a game, then we have a chance, or they have a chance. But it's going to be tough for Montreal to get in at this point. But they're not out of it yet. Ooh, what is the best Stanley Cup final without the Bolts or the Jets? That's a tough one. Let's see. Without no Winnipeg or Tampa Bay, the best Stanley Cup final. Who's an exciting team? Nashville, if Nashville could get there, I don't see Nashville getting by Winnipeg, but without Bolts or Jets allowed, I would say Nashville versus a team. What if Nashville and Pittsburgh went back and had another, that was the Cup final? What if it was Nashville and Pittsburgh again? That would be absolutely sick. I think Nashville versus Washington would be sick as well. I think a repeat, and this is not going to happen, but a repeat of Vegas versus Washington would be absolutely sick as well, and a lot of fun to watch because those teams have grown really to not like each other. So there are chances for a lot of really good Stanley Cup final matchups. Even if the Lightning and Jets aren't involved, I think there are some really fun matchups. And then don't forget about San Jose. San Jose could go back to the final. So I don't know. I'm just so excited for playoff hockey and can't wait to watch. And honestly, I think, it doesn't really matter who wins because I think it's going to be really, really good no matter what. Well, we'll see. That commercial for the NHL bracket challenge just reminded me of this, guys. I'm gonna do an off-the-wall hockey bracket challenge group. So if you guys are interested, it should be set up either on Sunday or Monday. I'll do a video when it's all set up and ready to go. But I just want to let you guys know that it will be an open group for anyone who watches my videos to join. So if you want to, fill out a playoff bracket and be part of the bracket challenge, I'm going to do one, obviously, and then I'm going to open it up to all of you, and we'll see who has the best playoff bracket. I can almost guarantee you it will not be me, given my history of predictions, especially playoff predictions. It's not going to be me. But hopefully one or two of you can get it, pretty close to being right. We're gonna have a nice fight here between Lightning fans and Panther fans. Battle of Florida. Not much went on with that on the ice this year. Tampa Bay being the best team in the league, and Florida being way out of it. But it's happening in the group chat right now. The Battle of Florida between the Lightning and Panthers. More entertaining in the group chat than on the ice this season. Yeah, the last live stream did cut out and I lost Wi-Fi or something, or YouTube wouldn't kick it back in. So, but I'm going to tell you guys right now while you're all here, if this live stream cuts out, which I mean, I guess there's always a potential it could with Wi-Fi, I'll just start up a second one. I'm not going to just end it like I did last time. I'll start up a second one and just call it part 1 and part 2. So, if the live stream does cut out and it loses connection, just go back to my channel and there should be a second one popping up very soon. And we'll finish the game with a second one. But hopefully that doesn't happen again. I really hope it doesn't. Something up and I completely forgot what it was. I honestly have no idea. So yeah, I guess we'll just forget about that. I was going to look at something and I have no idea anymore what it was. Oh, someone asked if that's what it was. Someone asked if Ryan Poling was playing tonight. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. So I have bad Wi-Fi in the basement down here because it's good upstairs where the router is and stuff, but the Wi-Fi doesn't travel well down to the basement down here. So some days it's fantastic and works perfectly fine. Some days it's very in and out, kind of not great from time to time. So it kind of depends on the day. I'm going to look up and see their roster and see if Poling is playing tonight. I have no idea, and it doesn't say yet. So I'm not sure. We'll find out. We'll find out when the game starts. We'll find out if Ryan Poling's playing or not. But he went to St. Cloud State, really, really good hockey player in college, signed with Montreal. So, all right, let's see. Hey, Fire Strike, welcome. Thank you, TTC. Yeah, this is one of my merch hats. It's a off the wall hockey shoot your shot hat. So I also enjoy this hat, and thank you. I'm glad you like it. And if you guys want to get a hat like this yourselves, the link to the merch store is in the description of this and every video. So just click that link. It will take you right to the store, and all the off the wall hockey merch will be there. What's going on, everybody? You need 1,000 subscribers to get Super Chat. That's one of the perks of getting to 1,000 subscribers and monetizing the channel, but I'm not there yet, so no Super Chat yet. Let's see. Well, while I guess everyone's here, if you haven't already, please give this stream a thumbs up if you enjoy the streams. That really helps out a lot with it getting found on YouTube and just moving it up higher in the YouTube algorithm. The more likes it has, the higher it is, the more likely it is to get found. And also, if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. I do content from across the NHL on all different teams, just hockey content in general, on all kinds of stuff, everything, not just one team, not anything like that, just, playoffs, every team, any big stories. I do recorded content. I do live streams like this. So if you're a fan of hockey, then just hit that subscribe button, and there'll definitely be some stuff here that you'll enjoy. And thank you. That really helps me out a lot. And we're on, closing in on 1,000 here, hopefully getting to 1,000 soon. And that will be a big day when this channel gets to 1,000 subscribers, if it ever does. Hopefully it does. I'm sorry you got a delay there, Nolan. That might be because you're in Canada, but I'm not sure. But I'm sorry about that. We're just about getting the puck drop here. We're almost underway. No, Vaughn, I don't watch horse racing. Sorry. I just never. I mean, I've watched it before, but it's not something I follow or anything like that. Yes, Peter, I did make an NCAA bracket. It was not very good, and we already have a breakaway here for Kuznetsov. Great save. You know, Kuznetsov didn't get a great opportunity out of that, but big save from Carey Price there. That looked offsides, but apparently not, as Montreal now brings it into the zone. My playoff prediction video will be up probably on Sunday, TTC. And to answer your question about Super Chat, I think it's just like money's involved. Like you're allowed to like send people money. I don't know what else it does as far as features or anything like that, but I know that there's an ability to like rather than like doing Patreon where you pay like a certain amount per month, you can just you just send like a one-time payment to the person who's streaming. I think that's what I understand Super Chat is. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't have it yet, but definitely when I get to, I wonder if when I get to 1,000 subscribers, if you know, I'll obviously enable it and use it. So we'll see what happens then. Yes, RIP Chicago and Minnesota. They've both been eliminated from contention out west. The Western Conference, I mean, it really looks like Colorado is going to be the team that gets in, and Arizona is the only other team with a chance. But it looks like Colorado is going to be the team from the West as for the second wild card spot. The play-by-play guy tonight, I honestly have the sound turned all the way off. I don't even know. Oh, I know this voice, and I literally can't put the name to it. Is it Kenny Albert? I know the voice, but I cannot put the name to it right now. I'll have to see when they show the announcers again. Yeah, it doesn't look like Polling's in the lineup tonight for Montreal, so they're not bringing the kid. Oh, it's John Walton. Joe Micheletti is the one inside the glass. I know that voice. I know that voice every time. I know I just knew the voice, but I couldn't put a name to it. That's a good chance there for Montreal. They just missed the net, though. So about 3 minutes into the period here, both teams have had offensive chances, but we still have no goals, and they're just kind of trading chances here a little bit. Will the Coyotes make the playoffs next season? It's too early to say. They're a good young up and coming team, but there are going to be teams that weren't very good in the West this year that I think are going to be better. I like non-playoff teams that I think are going to be better. And it's really difficult. We have to wait and see how the draft goes and how free agency goes. If a team like Minnesota, who not making the playoffs this year, makes a big splash in free agency, they could become a playoff team. I think Chicago could potentially be a playoff team. Two great chances there for Montreal. No goals, though. Nice saves by Holtby. So they're definitely going to be in the mix again, but I can't tell you, right now whether they will or won't be. We'll have to wait and see how the offseason goes and then get into next season. Yes, TTC, what is your question? My favorite commentator, Brian Boucher, is my favorite inside the glass guy, without a doubt. I love Brian Boucher inside the glass. As far as play-by-play, I don't know who my favorite would be. There's nobody that stands out and is like, I 100%, love this guy more than everybody else. There's not that many. There's some that I really don't like. But, I don't really mind many of the announcers, but nobody's like, oh my God, they're so good. I love them. I love Brian Boucher inside the glass. But as far as play-by-play, they're all kind of similar to me. Nice scramble. Montreal's really come out playing well this to start this period. They're going to the net. They're getting offensive chances. That was a big-time scramble in front there. Holtby held it, though. Do I like I don't hate Eddie Olczyk the way that some people like absolutely can't stand him. I don't hate him, but he's not one of my favorite guys. No. Not overly impressed with his calls. Another good move to the net there by Montreal, but ended up being defended by Washington, and I don't even think they got a shot on goal. I'm not a big Ray Ferraro fan. I personally don't like his analysis all that much. He's definitely not one of the guys that I hope to hear on a broadcast. That's going to be icing on the Canadiens. So about 5 minutes into the period, Toronto, Jesus Christ. Montreal has had some really good chances. Washington had a really good chance early. But Montreal's really carried the play since then, and but now they just ice the puck. Yeah, easy save there for Carey Price with the glove. Yeah, Ovechkin, I don't think is Ovechkin is not. It's not. I don't think Ovechkin is not going to catch Gretzky's goal record. No chance. He needs a lot more goals, and it's not going to happen. He's already 33, almost 34. It's not going to happen. However, he is going to get to 800. Absolutely going to get to 800. So he's an absolute legend and without a doubt a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he is the greatest goal scorer of this generation, as I have said in my Ovechkin videos. You heard that McDavid could leave Edmonton. I mean, he signed long-term there, so for him to leave, it would have to be a trade, meaning that Edmonton would have to be willing to trade Connor McDavid. I don't know how willing Edmonton's going to be to get rid of the greatest young player in the NHL right now, but I guess it's possible. Burakovsky in now for Washington. Good defense there from Montreal. They take it right back. And then Washington gets it right back. So we're having some neutral zone play here where these teams are just going back and forth in the neutral zone. Nah, he's not going to reach that. He's not going to reach Gretzky's. He's 33. He maybe has 2 more 40-goal seasons in him. So that's another 80 goals, but then you're going to see when he gets to 35, you're going to see some real decline in Ovechkin. And I'm not saying he's going to be a bad player. He'll still be a 30-goal scorer with the potential to maybe get to 40. But I think maybe the next 2 years he has a chance to hit 50 again at some point. But after that, I think once he crosses that 35 mark, you're going to see that age catches up to him just like it does with everyone else. And I think it's going to be it's going to be a slow decline from 35 on. So Braden Holtby has had a phenomenal first period so far for Washington. Montreal is just getting chance after chance after chance here. No, I can't tell the future, but I would bet money right now. I would bet $100 that Ovechkin does not pass Wayne Gretzky's goal record. I just don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, the first 8 minutes of this game, absolutely. Yes, Rob, you're showing on my feed. I can see you. The first 8 minutes of the game has definitely been intense and is felt like a playoff game so far. And for Montreal, this literally is a playoff game. If they lose this game, they're pretty much done. If they lose this game, they would need Columbus to lose both of their remaining games to get in. So this is a playoff game for the Canadiens. Yeah, I will check scores around the league at the commercial break. There are a lot of games tonight, so there's a lot of around the league to keep up with. And that's offsides on Washington. All right, we're going to commercial now, so I'm going to check scores from around the league.
There's nothing more important than the education of a young mind. Maybe the first in line to the grand opening of the world's largest movie.
So Ottawa Senators are up on the Buffalo Sabres 1-0. The Toronto Maple Leafs are up on the Tampa Bay Lightning 1-0. The Panthers and Islanders are tied 0-0. The Red Wings are beating the Penguins 1-0, and that would be the second win over Pittsburgh by Detroit in a week here. This game is still tied 0-0, and the Devils are up 1-0 on the Hurricanes. Now, Carolina clinches a playoff spot if they win tonight. So that's a big game for the Hurricanes. They do not want to lose to a last-place Devils team on a night that they can clinch a playoff spot. The Bruins and Wild play at 8 o'clock. The Flyers and Blues play at 8 o'clock. Nashville and Vancouver plays at 8 o'clock. Jets and Avalanche in a huge Central Division game there. It is at 9 o'clock. And if Colorado if Colorado even gets a point in that game, they clinch a playoff spot. And then Winnipeg is trying to win the division. They're tied with Nashville right now at 96 points. The Oilers play the Sharks, and then the last game of the night is at 10 o'clock, Arizona and Vegas. And Arizona would need to win that game get 2 points out of that game, and have Colorado lose in regulation to still have a chance at the playoffs. So busy night in the NHL. We have a lot of games. We have a lot of good games, but without a doubt, the most important game is this one going on right now, right here. Capitals and Canadiens, must-win game for Montreal here, and they've played like it's a must-win game to start. They've had some really good chances, no score yet, but they're playing with intensity, and it feels like a playoff game.
And our reward for that is to follow up with the defending champions on the road. Here's Heller, a shot that comes off the blocker of Carey Price.
So we're almost to the halfway mark of the first period here. Good period for Montreal so far, although Washington has definitely picked it up a little bit here. Hey, so Johnny's got a Stanley Cup prediction. He's got the Sharks over the Capitals in the Stanley Cup final. So there we go. There's one prediction. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's the NHL playoffs. There's no matchup you can tell me between playoff teams that I look at and go, that's impossible. There's no chance of that happening. There's certainly some that really aren't likely, and that certainly if you start picking wild card teams to make it to the final, that's just probably not going to happen. But there are a number of different Stanley Cup final possibilities that are very, very real possibilities. Oh, yeah. Stanley Cup playoffs are the greatest thing in all of sports, without a doubt. The absolute best. What's your question, TTC? Easy save there for Carey Price on John Carlson's little flip shot. I mean that I don't think the Hurricanes are going to make it to the finals. That's a bit of a long shot in my mind. I cannot see Carolina getting by teams like Washington, Tampa Bay, Boston. I just don't think it's going to happen. Oh yeah, absolutely love the playoffs. It's incredible. TTC, what's your question, man? If the Bruins beat the Lightning in the second round, I will be ecstatic. I would be so happy. That would be an absolutely huge win for Boston to get over that hump of the second round, get by the Lightning. Well, I don't see it happening personally. I think the Lightning would win that series, and I think that's likely going to be the second round series is Tampa Bay versus Boston, and I just think the Lightning win it. I think the Lightning absolutely win it, but we'll see. They play the games for a reason. If everything was done on paper, there'd be no point in actually playing the games, and we play the games for a reason because anything can happen. That's the greatness of it. Yeah, I don't watch the NBA playoffs at all either, Vaughn. Not at all. I honestly cannot stand the NBA. I think it's a garbage league. The only basketball I watch is the NCAA March Madness tournament. That's the only basketball I watch. I don't watch any NBA basketball. I think it's absolute garbage. Penguins also looking to clinch their playoff spot tonight with a win, even though they're pretty much in already. It would take a lot for the Penguins to fall out of their playoff spot. All right, time to crack the beer here. Get going. Have a good time. Probably not Panther because I just don't really like basketball that much. I love the craziness of the March Madness tournament, but I'm not a big basketball fan overall. And the NBA playoffs are completely predictable, which is the biggest problem. Low seeds never win in the NBA playoffs, hardly ever. So I don't even bother. I don't watch it. I focus on hockey. Hockey, to me, is without a doubt the best sport. Hey, there you go, TTC. Vodka is always a good time. That was definitely one of my go-to drinks in college. I drank beer more than anything, but if it was going to be a fun night, vodka was the go-to. I'll tell you, watching this Montreal team, it's weird seeing Christian Folin on defense wearing number 32 because when I see that number 32 on Montreal, all I can think of is Travis Moen, and that Travis Moen was on the Canadiens during a few years when they met Boston in the playoffs, and Moen was a guy heavily involved in the fisticuffs and the nastiness between the Bruins and Canadiens back in those, 2010, 11, 12 seasons. Um, he was a big guy for big, tough guy for the Canadiens there. So when I see that number 32 on Montreal, all I think of is Travis Moen, and brings back a lot of memories of some classic Bruins Canadiens games and some real nasty games between those teams, which not quite 10 years ago, but pretty close at this point. Close, almost 10 years ago now, at least 5 plus. Wow, an 8 seed has never beat a 1 seed in the NBA playoffs. Remember when the LA Kings were an 8 seed and they won the Stanley Cup? Yeah, that doesn't happen in the NBA. That does happen in the NHL. The Kings got hot at the right time. They were an 8 seed and they came all the way down and won the Stanley Cup. I mean, that doesn't happen in other sports. That happens in the NHL. That's why one of the things that makes the NHL so great. So Montreal's got the puck here in the offensive zone. Washington's going to exit here, though, and they get the puck out. Yeah, I think Boston can beat Tampa. I just don't think they will. I think a lot of things would have to go right for Washington to beat Tampa. Tom Wilson just absolutely destroyed Brendan Gallagher. Ovechkin was like coming from Adam from behind, hit him right into Wilson, and Wilson just absolutely leveled Brendan Gallagher. What a great hit. And then Ovechkin kind of gave it to him when he was down on the ice. So things are heating up. This feels like a playoff game. Montreal gets it into the zone, but can't retain possession. Quick exit for the Capitals now. Now, Montreal's got to get the puck out here. Oh, RUTTC, do you like it? I've got a bunch of different designs up there. I haven't actually I haven't checked the merch website in a while, but I got a bunch of different designs up there, and a lot of different products. Shirts, hats, sweatshirts, bags, coffee mugs, all different stuff. So yeah, please check it out, and if you're interested in anything, feel free to take a look for sure, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, that'll be sick, Panther. Yeah. I almost got the red one, but then I saw I absolutely loved this like silver gray color, and I saw it with that, and I was like, "Oh, that is sweet. I love that." So I got this one. But I got a couple of shirts too, and they both came out really good. I'm impressed with it. So the merch that I've bought has come out really good, and I've really liked it. So unfortunately, it just hasn't really been selling to anyone else. But hopefully, as I get more and more subscribers, can start to move some of that merch and have people buy stuff. So Montreal now back into the zone, but there really hasn't been an overly good scoring chance for either team really in like the last eight minutes of this game. It's been a lot of possession hockey, but not a lot of good scoring chances. Both of these teams are playing good defensive structured hockey right now. Very tight defensive game, and you would expect that in a game of this importance, especially from Montreal. And I mean, Montreal's a Claude Julien team that focuses on defense anyway. TTC, that skull design was actually made by a subscriber to this channel, Glenn. Glenn D designed that skull logo when just one day, I think he was at work and he wasn't really doing much. So he designed that skull logo, and we bounced back and forth and ended up coming out pretty good. I skull one because that was all him. All I did was take the design and put it on some stuff, but he did all the design work on that.
Everything you ever wanted for just $5. Everything I ever wanted? That's right. A bacon double stack with a quarter pound of fresh beef, nugget fries, and a drink for just $5. Wendy's Biggie Bag is
so we're down to the final couple minutes here. Just went to commercial. Final couple minutes of this first period. No score between the Canadiens and Montreal. It's been a very intense game so far. It feels like a playoff game. But it's been a very tight checking defensive game, and there haven't been a lot either side for scoring chances. Washington got a really good scoring chance right at the beginning of the period, didn't score. Montreal then had a few good scoring chances, but Holtby held strong. And really the last few minutes, there hasn't been much offense to speak of at all, not even really any chances either way. A lot of neutral zone play, a lot of possession play. And that's pretty much been it. Yes, Johnny, I agree. Boston versus Washington would be a great Eastern Conference final. That would be a really fun series, and one that I think could go either way. So Carolina has tied their game up against New Jersey. It's a 1-1 game now. So that's Carolina has a chance to clinch their playoff spot tonight with a win. So here come the Canadiens into the offensive zone here. That was a nice cross-ice pass to kind of open things up. Shot gets blocked, though, and Washington pretty easily clears their zone here. And that's offsides on the Capitals. Almost a break-in for Ovechkin, but he was offsides. All right, TTC. See you, man. See you later. Hopefully, see you later. Man, I'm not one of these people that's going to overly complain about this playoff format because it gives us some incredible matchups. I love the interdivisional matchups. Yes, is it harder? Is it harder on the good teams? Yes, it is, especially the 2 seed who instead of playing maybe a lousy team from the other division get stuck playing a very good team like Boston and Toronto do. But you know what? It gives us way better matchups. It gives us way more fun series in my mind, and I'm not going to complain about that. I think I'm going to do a video probably Sunday when the playoffs are set, and I'll look at what the matchups are now with this format and what the matchups would be if it was a 1-8 format based on points. And I can almost guarantee you the matchups that we have now are a lot more exciting and a lot more interesting than what we would have gotten if it was 1-8. I don't know that for a fact yet because I haven't looked at it yet. But we have Vegas versus San Jose. Incredible series in the first round. We have Boston versus Toronto. Incredible series in the first round. We have a chance to have Nashville and St. Louis in the first round. Incredible matchups, incredible series. And I just don't think you would get those great divisional rivalry matchups if you go back to a 1-2-8. Sure, they could happen from time to time, but I don't think they would be consistently great like the matchups we get now. But that's just my opinion. I'm definitely in the minority on that. I think overall people want them to go back to a 1-8 format. But I love the matchups that this current format gives us. I think they're incredible. And it's just, it's division rival. It's a divisional matchup. At least 4 out of the 8 first round matchups are interdivisional matchups. And usually you get more than that. So I have no complaints with the current matchup. Goal, Washington scores. They take the lead, 1-0 Capitals. And that is after overall a really good period for Montreal, that's going to be a kick in the nuts goal to give up there. Less than a minute and a half left in the period, and you give up the first goal after a very strong period overall on a lousy turnover overall. That's just bad. That is horrendous D-zone coverage. Horrendous D-zone coverage by the Canadiens. Both defensemen got caught in the same corner, and the center wasn't covering back the front of the net. Nobody was on Eller in front of the net. Both defensemen went to the corner, and they turned the puck over, and Eller was just wide open in front of the net. Really bad defensively there from Montreal, and now they find themselves down 1-0. And that was a really bad goal to give up at the end of a period like that. Lars Eller scored from Washington. And now we've got a high sticking call against Washington. So this is going to put the Canadiens immediately here on the power play. So this is a chance now for Montreal to quickly get that goal back as Nick Backstrom goes to the box for high sticking. So Washington scores. Oh, yeah, caught him right on the chin. Washington scores, but now immediately goes to the penalty kill. So Montreal has a big power play here with a minute left in the first period to get this goal back. Yes, I do listen to Bryan Adams. I like Bryan Adams. I don't listen to him all the time or anything, but I know his big songs and stuff. My reaction if Boston wins the Stanley Cup would be pure happiness and elation. If Toronto wins the Stanley Cup, I will be very, very, very angry. I will not be happy if Toronto wins the Stanley Cup, especially this year, where I don't think they should this year. No goal horns. I have not heard. What happened to Bobby Cox? I have no idea. And there's a goal. We have a 1-1 hockey game. Power play goal for the Canadiens, and we have a 1-1 game. So that power play turned out to be huge. Washington scores to take the lead, but then immediately takes a penalty, and Montreal gets it right back on the power play. Shea Weber with the goal for the Canadiens, his 14th goal of the season. And that wasn't a slap shot. That wasn't your usual Shea Weber wind up and blast it home. That was a nice little wrist shot from the circle. And he just gets it by Holtby blocker side. So we have a tie game here. Oh, yeah, I know he was the Braves manager. I did not know that he had a stroke. So, yeah, prayers up for Bobby Cox, who had a stroke. Hopefully everything turns out well there as best they can. Hey, welcome back, TTC. We have a 1-1 hockey game. Montreal just tied it up. The Bruins coach is Bruce Cassidy. Yeah, Bruce Cassidy is the Bruins coach. He's done a phenomenal job since taking over. Oh, another grade A chance there for Montreal, and they can't put it home. So it's now the end of the first period. We have a 1-1 tie at the end of the first period. So we are now TTC. How much vodka did you drink in that short of a time? It's only been like, what, 15, 20 minutes? All right, Gold Horns, no problem. Have fun at the game for sure, man. And thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. Danny, what's up, my man? Yeah, I'm glad you were able to check in as well. We got a good game here going on. Must-win game for Montreal to keep their playoff hopes really alive at this point. And we got a 1-1 game at the first intermission, so it's been a good one so far. It's felt like a playoff game, really intense. Tight checking defensive game to this point. TTC, that is a lie. That is an absolute lie. You did not drink 2 bottles of vodka in 20 minutes. That did not happen. You're just making that up. Hey, thanks, Goldhorns. I appreciate it. Yeah, any advertising you can do, I'll take it. Hopefully getting to 1,000 subs soon. Yeah, I know you were joking, dude. No chance. All right, so while we're at intermission here, I'm going to move the computer and give it a chance to cool off because this thing does run hot. So I'm going to put it on my lap for a while instead of that blanket that just holds all the heat in. Yes, Johnny, I definitely agree with you on that. The Senators are going to be bad for a long time. I absolutely agree. All right, no problem, Panther. Not a problem at all. Just thanks for being here. I appreciate it, and hopefully talk to you soon when you check back in. I think that's mostly the camera. It's really not spooky down here. I can promise you that. It's just the camera makes it look like a really long and dark hallway, and that it's really not that bad down here. Oh, Danny, really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I will. To be honest, I don't know the percentage, but I definitely do get something. I've never sold a water bottle, so I don't know how much out of that I will get, but I'll be able to tell you in probably about 15 minutes. It should pop up here on my app here for Spreadshirt. It should tell me how much I get. But I really appreciate that, Danny. It means a lot to have, you supporting me and helping out the channel. It really does mean a lot. And it's greatly appreciated. Oh yeah, Vaughn, I'm with you on that. The Senators absolutely do have a Oilers-like rebuild ahead of them. It's going to take a while. Hopefully they do it a little bit better and quicker than the Oilers, but given that ownership, that management group, I wouldn't bet on that. I think Ottawa is going to be really bad for a long time. So while we're at intermission here, I just want to check some scores. Hopefully these load quickly. This period. Man, Buffalo has really, shit the bed the second half of the season. They had a really strong start, but they just could not keep it going. And now they've completely fallen back to garbage. Maple Leafs and Lightning are still 1-0 end of the first. Islanders and Panthers are still tied 0-0 end of the first. The Penguins are up on the Red Wings 2-1 end of the first. Capitals and Canadiens, our game here, 1-1 end of the first. And Canadiens and Hurricanes are 1-1 end of the first. Or Devils and I just said Canadiens, Hurricanes. That's wrong. Devils and Hurricanes are 1-1 end of the first. At 8 o'clock, we have three games starting up at 8. We have Flyers, Blues, Bruins, Wild, and Canucks, Predators, all at 8 p.m. At 9 p.m., we have the Jets and Avalanche and Sharks and Oilers. And then the late game tonight at 10 is Coyotes versus Vegas Golden Knights. So a lot of games tonight and some big games tonight, and it's just a good night in the NHL. Yeah, I remember the November Sabres too. They were really good. Now they're not. What's your sad question, TTC? Let me know. I will try to answer it. What if another lockout happened? Well, that would be really, really bad. That would be terrible for the league. It would be obviously terrible for the fans. It'd be terrible for the nothing is good about a lockout. Nothing. So I hope it doesn't happen. It's always possible, especially years when the collective bargaining agreement is up. It's always possible, but I really, really, really hope it doesn't happen. See, well, the Predators, I think the Preds and Jets are cup contenders because they're perfectly built for playoff hockey. Those are two, they're not playing well right now, which does worry me heading into the playoffs, but they play big boy hockey. They're big, they're physical, they're mean, they're nasty. They are perfectly built for the NHL playoffs. Unlike a speed and skill team like, say, a Toronto or Carolina, who's probably going to get pushed around come playoff time, Nashville and Winnipeg is built to win in the postseason because they will beat you up and then they will beat you. Yeah, the Preds are lacking offense a little bit, but again, if they can win 2-1 games, then that's going to be, that could get them far. And the Jets have been fine all season with Laine playing like garbage for most of the year, all except the month of November. They've been fine without him. What's up, Transportation Land? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Nolan, Ottawa's going to find a way to screw it up. Believe me. With Melnick there as the owner, Dorian is the awful GM. They're going to find a way to screw it up. The Ottawa will screw their rebuild up and make it take way longer than it should. Yes, they do have some nice pieces there, but they'll find a way. They don't have a goalie. Their defense is awful, absolutely awful. It's going to be a while for Ottawa. Hey, Sal, Behind the Arc Basketball is in the chat. That's my buddy Sal. Give him a subscription. Give him a sub if you're into college basketball. He does play-by-play of college basketball games. So that's my buddy Sal on Behind the Arc Basketball. Definitely check his channel out if you like basketball. Yeah, Leafs do have good offense. They do not have good defense. And I think that's going to kill them come playoff time. Defense wins championships. Yeah, Leafs have bad defense, but their offense is very, very good. So while we're at intermission here and on commercial, I just want to quickly say that if you're enjoying this stream, give it a thumbs up and hit that like button. That really helps out the channel a lot and does a lot to move this video up in YouTube's algorithm and things like that. So if you give it a thumbs up, that really helps out a lot, and I appreciate it. Also, most of you, I recognize your names. You're all subscribers, but if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. That obviously helps out a ton with the channel, and I'm trying to get to 1,000, and we're over 700 now, so I thank you all so much for that. But I love watching the sub numbers just keep going up. So please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. No, I do not smoke. Leafs have no grit in their lineup. That is 100% correct. Another thing that will kill them in the playoffs. And we'll see about it's until I see a goaltender produce at the NHL level. I'm not sold on any goalies. I'm not sold on any goalies until they produce at the NHL level, because I've seen a lot of goaltenders who are really, really good in the minors or really, really good in juniors, and then they get to the NHL level and they're a career backup and they're just not that good. So, we'll see with Gustafsson. He has the potential, certainly, but I still think it's too early to tell. TTC, what is your very, very scary question? Shoot, man, shoot. What would my reaction if the NHL allows women and makes an NHL woman team? What kind of question is that? First of all, women are allowed to play in the NHL. There is no rule saying that a woman cannot play in the NHL. However, there just hasn't been the case where goaltenders actually have. There have been female goaltenders, I believe, at least play a game at the NHL level. Other than that, I don't think there's been many that have. Yeah, I know there have been. As far as a skater, I just don't think there's been any that have been good enough to, or been good enough and wanted to play at the NHL level. But I won't have any problem if there's a woman that's good enough and makes the NHL. So they would never make an NHL they would never make an all woman NHL team. That just wouldn't happen. There aren't they wouldn't be able to compete they don't have enough at the NHL, enough women that can play at the NHL level to make a full team of just females. That just wouldn't happen. And Seattle's new team will not be the Seattle Princess. I can guarantee you that. No, my sister does not play hockey. She can ice skate a little bit, but she doesn't play hockey. Do I sag my pants? No, I do not sag my pants. I don't want to look like an absolute moron in public, so I keep my pants and I wear up at my waist and I wear a belt so I don't look like an absolute idiot in public. Yes, Hillary Knight is fine. Hillary Knight is definitely nice to look at. Yeah, I mean, if a woman was to play in the NHL, they'd be fully liable to get hit. Absolutely. They'd have to play by full NHL rules. They're not going to change the rules for a woman coming into the league. So they would have to play by NHL rules. Which means they can get hit. Do I support communism? Absolutely not. I support the exact opposite of communism. Hillary Knight is not my sister. The Oilers never do anything right. Yes, this Bud Light is very good. You should grab yourself a beer, Nolan. It's very good. I'm a big fan of a nice beverage. Yeah, and it's their choice. No, I don't drink Coors. I mean, wow, that's a very interesting Stanley Cup dress that girl's wearing, but she is very attractive. Any of you, any of you, watching on NBCSN, if you just saw that girl, wow, in the Stanley Cup dress, that's a 10 out of 10. Um, yeah, no, women's college hockey is pretty good. I don't watch a lot of women's sports in general at all, anything, but women's college hockey does definitely, there are some games that are really, really fun to watch. Unlike, yeah, women's basketball, no offense, I'm not trying to offend them. They're doing the best that they can, but holy crap, is it boring? I cannot watch women's college basketball. I can't watch women's basketball at all. It's just awful. But women's hockey is much, much better than women's basketball for sure. And yeah, golf. Golf is pretty much, I mean, the game really doesn't change much between men and women. Women don't generally, drive it 360 down the center of the fairway like some of the guys do, but women's golf is still golf. It's still, the same game. Um, so I definitely will watch women's golf. I have never watched women's cricket, so I don't know. Soccer's okay. I'm not big on soccer. From time to time, if there's literally nothing else on, I'll watch it. But for the most part, I'm not big into soccer. Um, yeah, the women's especially college basketball, women's basketball, it's so lopsided. Like there are the great teams, and then there's just trash. Everyone else is trash. So you have those like freaking 99 to like 48 games, and it's just such a joke. Soccer versus hockey, hockey all the way. What has a bigger net? Soccer has a much bigger net. Do I like sake? I don't really know what that is. Never really watched it. Yeah, 100 to 40 games. That's just a joke. And you'll get that in women's basketball. That's an absolute joke. Yeah, you're probably not going to see. I'm with Nolan. You're probably not going to see a woman in the NHL anytime soon. Oh, all right. I've never played sake, so maybe I'll have to check that out sometime. I've never played it. Well, we'll see. We'll see, Johnny. Bolts couldn't get there last year. They couldn't get to the finals last year. We'll see if they do this year or not. And yes, Major League Baseball has a 162 game season. It is way too long in my mind. It is what it is. That's baseball's season. Yeah, I watch MLB from time to time. It's not my favorite sport, but I do watch it. I was watching a game. I was watching the Red Sox A's game for a couple innings earlier today. Um, Welcome back, Panther. Thanks for stopping back in. I appreciate it. Tuca's been playing well lately. I moved the computer back. Pucks dropped we're back for the second period here. 1-1 game between the Canadiens and Capitals, just starting the second period. Tuca's been playing better. Had a really good game against Columbus the other night. My favorite team is the Boston Bruins because I'm from Massachusetts. Yeah. I mean, that's really, really cool, Nolan, and it's really good for her that she was that good. I mean, if she's that good, she might end up on the Olympic team. Jacob Verana just shot that high. He had a good chance there, first minute. Oh, did they? I'll have to check that out after this stream, Panther. Jets with some new uniforms. I'll have to check it out. No, nice save there by Braden Holtby. The computer weighs more than the beer can for sure. Yeah, Danny, the Red Sox have not looked good. They have not started the season off well, so they need to get it going. Johnny's picking the Sharks. Okay, a very, very real possibility. The Sharks have a great. They have some great players. They have a lot of experienced players. My question with the Sharks is their goaltending. I don't know if I trust Martin Jones to be a Stanley Cup level goaltender. I think he's one of those guys he's a good NHL goaltender, but he's never really transcended into that great NHL goaltender. He's kind of just always been good. I don't know if I trust him to bring a team to the Stanley Cup, but it's certainly possible. And they have Burns and Carlson on the back end. They have Pavelski, Couture up front, Evander Kane, Joe Thornton. I mean, they've got some really, really good pieces there. So they're certainly a cup contender. How much does my hat weigh? I have no idea. It's not a lot. It's pretty light. Doesn't weigh a lot. Do I like Pokemon? I mean, yeah, I used to be more into it when I was a kid than I am now. But yeah, I like Pokemon. Panther, you're buying those shirts tomorrow. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's really cool. Yeah, the Yankees are struggling as well. But yeah, I think it's still early. This is a 162 game season, and we're barely into April, so it's still very, very early. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good comparison there, TTC. Jones is a lot like Freddie Anderson. I think they're similar. There's a goal for the Capitals. Beautiful snipe from the slot. Nick Dowd. I think that Anderson and Jones are very similar caliber goaltenders. Another terrible turnover by the Montreal Canadiens. And now Byron has got to get that puck out. He doesn't get the puck out. No one back checking nearly hard enough. And Dowd just gets a free shot from the slot. He just rips it top shelf. Horrible defense again for the Canadiens. And that I can't even say his name. Kotkaniemi needs to do a much better job defensively than what he just did there. He did nothing to stop Nick Dowd from getting that shot off, and Dowd just snipes it top corner. Yes, Ovi is from Russia. He is Russian for sure, man. Oh, good chance there for the Canadiens. They almost just tied that back up. They literally almost tied that back up. And now the Canadiens ice it. Yep, Carey Price is in goal for the Montreal. Yeah, I mean, biggest game of the year for them. They better have their starting goaltender in net. Oh, Jay, I don't think that's going to happen. That is a long shot if I've ever seen one. I don't think it's going to happen. Nice glove save there by Price. He needed to get that, and he did. Verona with a streaking down the boards, rips a shot on goal, but Price makes the glove save. Yep, Leafs and Tampa Bay are tied 1-1 now. Yeah, I don't think Toronto's winning the cup this year either. They're also a long shot in my book. Do I know what a loony is? No, I have no idea. Is there a Cinderella this year? I don't think so. No. Soccer I would watch a lot more soccer if there was fighting, that's for sure. If they could fight, I'd be watching it a lot more. No, I did not. I did not watch the World Cup. These questions are ridiculous. All right, so Looney is a Canadian $1 coin. I had no idea. 2 huge saves there from Braden Holtby. One on Domi and then one on the rebound on Shaw. And Holtby holds strong and they keep the lead. No, I haven't watched the World Cup. Do I know what a toonie is? No. Vaughn, I don't even know off the top of my head. Really? TTC, is it a $2 coin? That's my best guess, but I don't know. The US has silver dollars. So yes, they do have a coin that's worth $1. So we have silver dollars. We have half dollars as well. They're very, very rare. You don't see a lot of coins in general anymore. Everything is pretty much paper money. You don't even see cash all that much anymore. A lot of stuff is just online transactions and credit cards, you debit cards. You don't see a lot of cash anymore. Although there's still quite a bit of cash, but you do not see coins really that much anymore at all. A half dollar is a coin that is worth 50 cents, worth half a dollar. Yes, we have $quarter. We have quarters as well. They're just called quarters. They're worth 25 cents. Yes, we do have a $2. We do have a $2 bill, but they are extremely rare. You do not see $2 bills very often. They're almost, most of them now are worth more than $2 because they're rare. They're so rare, they're worth more than their face value. Paper coins, that's interesting. Yeah, Venmo and Cash App, all those online transactions, that's kind of replacing actual physical money. Or you could always pay in Bitcoin. I'm just kidding. Most people don't. I don't think most places take Bitcoin, but crypto's interesting to say the least.
having to go to the league and talk to them. You know, the early training camp where he got suspended against St. Louis for those 16 games. And since then, boy, he's done a nice job of his game.
I'm gonna refrain from answering that question, Panther. I don't need to answer that question where hundreds of people can view this video and see it. No, I haven't heard that story, Nolan. I didn't know if someone bought pizza with Bitcoin, but yes, the value of Bitcoin was absolutely monstrous at one point. I think that was last year or a couple years ago now. It's still pretty high now.
There's nothing more important than the education of a young mind.
This chat is getting a little this chat's interesting to say the least. Yes, Bruce Cassidy's 300th game tonight. He's been absolutely phenomenal since taking over as the Bruins head coach. He has been unbelievably good. Have I ever got in trouble in school with my teacher? I mean, for the most part, I tried to stay out of trouble. But from time to time, yes, it's happened. Vaughn, it's happened. Not all that often, but things sometimes teachers just piss you off and you got to mouth off back to them, or they do something stupid, or you have a little bit of an issue with a certain teacher from time to time. All right, Eddie, that is an A+ comment right there. No burping you're doing during the off the wall hockey, bro. That is perfect right there. That is absolutely hilarious. Unbelievable comment from Eddie in the chat there. That is wicked funny. Yeah, Laine has had a great month of November, and he's been absolute trash since. So I've done videos on him a couple times this season. Great November, then absolute garbage since. Yeah. Yeah, Danny, this chat is definitely gone off the rails a little bit. Not that this game has given us a whole lot to talk about, though. That's the thing. When the game doesn't have much going on, it's easy to get off track. What? Some kid in your school said okay and got in trouble for that? I would have been getting in trouble a lot if that was the case in my school. Great chance there for the Capitals. Carey Price with a massive save, and now they're all just scrambling around. Huge saves from Carey Price. Wow. Wow, Nolan, that's wicked funny. I wish I roasted teachers like that. And that's going to be interference on Shea Weber. He's going to the box for interference. So Washington's going to be going to the power play here with a 2-1 lead as Shea Weber heads to the box for interference. That was pretty obvious in my mind. The puck goes by, and Weber just dumps Kuznetsov there. Did a teacher ever roast me? Not that I can remember. Maybe, and I don't remember it, but I can't remember a time where a teacher roasted me specifically. I've definitely seen teachers roast students, but I don't think I personally ever got roasted by a teacher. Yeah, how embarrassing is that, Johnny? Less goals than Lucic in December and January. That is absolutely embarrassing because Lucic blows now. Hey, Vaughn, you saw a fight in your class? I saw a bunch of fights in high school. They weren't like an everyday occurrence or anything, but they were fairly common in my school, and I saw plenty of fights in my day. Funny TTC, literally roasting. Actually, that would be grilling, but so Washington's on the power play here, but they haven't really done anything with it. It's already half over. But again, with a 1-goal lead, this would be a big chance for Washington to extend the lead. And this is going to be a big kill if Montreal can kill this off with Shea Weber in the box. This should maybe swing the momentum back that way. Do I have more beer cans for you? This is the only beer that I have out. I do have more beer in the fridge back over there somewhere, but I'm probably only just going to drink this one tonight. No reason for me to like start pounding beers or anything. It's maybe if like the Bruins, maybe like during a Bruins elimination game stream where maybe if the Bruins win, I'll be pounding beers and it will be a party. But for tonight, I think I'm just sticking with this one. No, Yvonne, I never got suspended from school. Never. Well, I shouldn't say I never did anything that could get you suspended. I never got caught doing anything that could get you suspended. So no, I never got suspended. I never even got detention. Never even got a detention in school. I was very low key with what I was able to do. And most of the time I just kept to myself and kept my mouth shut. But when I did do something, I made sure that I got away with it. What if soccer had goal horns? I mean, there's hardly any goals in soccer, so you wouldn't hear it very often. But I guess it would make things a little more exciting. But there needs to be more scoring in soccer, plain and simple. Oh, that's wicked funny, Panther. So the dude was losing, so he threw a desk. What a punk move. If you're gonna fight someone, stand up, square up, and fight. Don't be doing shit like that where you start throwing desks and shit. No. If you're gonna fight one-on-one like a man. No need for that cheap garbage. He was just mad because he was losing. Be cruel to your school? Hey. There are definitely some times when I wanted to burn my school to the ground. Not literally, but like there were some times where I absolutely hated it there, and then there were some times where it was a lot of fun. So I feel like that's everyone's experience with school. There are times it's fun, and there are times you absolutely hate it, and it's just you and your friends going, and everybody has to go through it. Yes, Eddie. Oh, that would be fantastic. They just whip out the foreign object and just like slice their opponent or hit him over the head with something like a bat or something. That'd be wicked funny. Wow. So St. Louis is winning 4-1 over Philadelphia less than 10 minutes into the game. Less than 10 minutes into the game. Philadelphia has already given up 4 goals. That's embarrassing. Should golf allow fighting? No, There's no reason for fighting in golf. Believe me, I'm a big fan of fights and fighting, but golf is a sport where there's just no reason to have fights in golf. I've actually seen that happen, transportation, where in my school some kid actually broke the desk. Like he sat down in the desk because it was one of those desks where the chair and the desk was connected. He sat down and the desk literally just folded like that and broke. So I've seen that before where the fat kid breaks the desk. It's just wicked funny. Here we go. 2-on-1. How did he not score that? Washington just had a grade A scoring chance and somehow didn't put the puck in the net. Price was down and out, and Vrana somehow didn't put the puck in. Yes, very cheap desks. Hey, what's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping in and watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the stream. Wide open side of the net for Vrana, and he misses the net. Wow. That sucks. It scared you when I went like this? So we still have a 2-1 game here. 7:43 left in the second period. Washington's up 2-1. Should have been 3-1 with that last chance for Vrana, but he missed the wide open net. Oh, that sucks. No, I haven't done that, Panther, but that sucks. He must have made a scene in the restaurant. So now Montreal's got the puck in the offensive zone with a little bit of pressure here. Oh, yeah, sitting on cold steel is the worst. Armia with a one-timer from the slot, but he completely missed it. So that was kind of shitty. Really? What a classic song, Turned Down for What? That is high school / college at its finest there. Well, this game is definitely picking up the compete level and the nasty. Wilson's out there throwing hits. Shaw and Orpik are going at it. Obviously, nobody wants to take a penalty in a one-goal game like this, but the intensity is absolutely there. This definitely feels like a playoff game. Washington has had more grade A chances in this period, and they just cannot score. They absolutely cannot get the puck to go in the net. Whether either they miss the net or Carey Price makes a huge save. He just made a massive save on Brett Connolly. Have I had bad students in my classes before? Yeah. I mean, I was in mostly honors classes in high school, but like electives and stuff, absolutely. Yes, I've had bad kids in the classes for sure. Have I ever wanted to kill someone because they were stupid or annoying? Like legitimately kill them? No. Are there people that I certainly wouldn't mind if they died? Absolutely. 100%. See, I don't count smoking weed as making you a bad kid because I just feel like that's everybody. That's like what everybody does. Like I would say like 70% of the kids that I went to high school with smoked weed. So those aren't the bad kids to me. That there are plenty of good kids that smoked weed. Almost another turnover there by Montreal, but they do get it out. Yeah, Panther. I mean, I don't smoke anymore, but definitely I kind of stopped in college, and then from time to time it kind of would do it from time to time, but overall not really. More in high school than in college, but I've never had a problem with weed. It's fun and it is what it is, and it's usually especially if you're with friends, it's a fun time. But I'd much rather drink personally. I'm much I, it's much more fun when I'm drunk than getting high. I I mean, weed always kind of put me to sleep, so I was kind of boring on weed because I would just like lay down and like want to go to sleep. Then have then have some real fun dreams though. That was interesting. Oh, breakaway Ovechkin and a save by Carey Price. Wow, Ovechkin with a golden chance there. Oh yeah, see if you trip, I'm with you on that why you would hate that. I would not want to trip every time. But me, it just kind of, things would be funny, like I'd be laughing a lot. Um Obviously eat a lot of junk food, but I'd mostly want to sleep. So I'd listen to music and then just go to sleep and I mean it was fine. It wasn't anything I'd go out of my way to do all the time though. Just not for me. I'd much rather drink. Getting drunk for me is just like a wild, fun time. Whereas smoking weed is like, okay, I'm going to bed. Shit, I'm out of beer. Empty. All right. That's fine. Have I had the whole class stay after school before? No, I have not. I honestly would get if they tried to keep me after school hours, I would just get up and leave. I'd be like, you own me until whatever your dismissal time is, and after that you have no control over me, and I just get up and go. I'd be like, I'm getting out of here, see you later. I'm not staying after school for you. And I would get up and leave. That's what I would do. Wow, that Blues Philly game is 5-2 now, halfway through the first. 5 goals for St. Louis in half a period. Philly must have just not even shown up tonight. See, yeah, I'm way more funny when I'm drunk than when I'm high, and just like being drunk is just such a fun time for me. No, I'm not gonna get more beer. I'm not gonna get sloshed tonight or anything. I'm good with that one. I don't need to be pounding beers tonight. So about 2.5 immediately covers it. Have I ever felt like punching a teacher? No. I've definitely never come close to punching a teacher. Have I wanted to at times? Sure, probably. But I've never actually like even thought about doing that. I would never just punch a teacher. I don't know who Sam Motenbolt is. I've never heard of him. I don't have any Pokemon cards. Sorry, I don't. Oh, yeah, this is an absolutely massive game for Montreal. Montreal has to win this game to really even have a chance to make the playoffs. It is 2-1 Washington still. Did I ever see a kid smoke, TTC? What do you mean? Like a little kid? No, I've never seen anyone younger than like 8th grade smoke. I've seen 8th graders smoke. I've seen 8th graders smoke weed. And obviously, once you get to high school, a lot of kids smoke. But I've never seen anyone younger than 8th grade smoke, personally, myself. That's a save by Holtby. Yes, the Leafs are locked into the playoffs. They are locked into the 3rd seed in the Atlantic Division. They are guaranteed to play the Boston Bruins in the first round. Boston has locked up home ice advantage for that first round series. So that as far as that matchup, it's all set. Is a 12-year-old considered a teen? No. Teenagers start at 13. The word teen is not in 12, so they are not a teenager. They are still a preteen. Once you get to 13, you're a teenager. And then once you get to 14, you really start acting like a teenager. At least that's what I found, is that 14 kids really start acting like teenagers. People are vaping in your 7th grade. Wow. I mean, I'm really not surprised by that, but wow. That's definitely starting younger than most kids my age started. We usually at least waited till high school. A 5th grader chug a beer and take a rip? That's interesting. I have not seen that. That's wild. That's interesting, Eddie. Funny story there. Is an 11-year-old a preteen? Yes, 11 is preteen. So puck goes out of play with 18 seconds left in the second period. We're almost to intermission here. It's still 2-1 Capitals, and that's it. Yes, 10 is a preteen. I mean, technically, by the definition of preteen, anything before becoming a teenager would be preteen. I don't know. I think once you get below 10, they probably don't call them preteens. They probably just call them kids. But technically, they are still before their teenage years. So preteen before a teen. Yes. Yeah, the playoffs are almost full. I mean, they're almost locked in. But that's the end of the second period. So we still have a 2-1 game. 2-1 Capitals, end of the second. So I'm going to move the computer again off of this blanket, which is propping it up, and onto my lap and let it cool off a little bit. Here you go. You can see behind. That's the big, scary basement. I'm sure everybody has Panther. I'm sure everybody has at some point, especially when they were younger. Yeah, got air hockey, table hockey, and foosball all back there. Yep, Holtby is playing for the Capitals. Yep. Oh, you had a Hurricanes jersey on in the video? That must have been before you were a Panthers fan. I always bite my nails constantly. Jesus, Eddie. That's gross and funny at the same time. Yeah, I've literally been biting my nails since I knew what nail biting was. Never stopped, always do it. It's fine. Hasn't killed me yet. All right, so we're at intermission here, so let's go through some scores. We have the Sabres up on the Senators 3-2, so Buffalo has taken the lead in that game. The Lightning and Maple Leafs are still 1-1. The Islanders have taken a 1-0 lead on the Panthers. Penguins are up 3-1 now on the Red Wings. Capitals are up 2-1 on Montreal. The Hurricanes have taken a 2-1 lead over the Devils. The Blues are up on the Flyers 5-2. The Canucks are ahead of the Predators 1-0. That would be a really bad loss for Nashville tonight in a game where they could potentially take over first place in the division. And the Bruins and Wild are tied 0-0. So that's where we're at right now. The Jets and Avalanche play at 9. The Sharks and Oilers play at 9. And the Coyotes and Golden Knights play at 10. That's the rest of the games for tonight. Some kid ate rotten cheese from the floor. That's messed up. I really just hope the NHL doesn't go to a lockout. That I don't want to watch the KHL. I want to watch the NHL. Let's just hope they don't go to a lockout. That's not true. You do not get worms from biting your nails. That's not true. Yes, I did have to say the Panthers score. I just went through all the scores. Yeah, I've always bit my nails. It's the way it is. All right, I'm gonna go through check the box scores here to see if we've had any fights tonight. Probably not, because the NHL is wimpy now, but I'm gonna check anyway in case I need to tweet out an NHL fight alert tweet. Wow. All these games tonight, and like I said, probably not. There hasn't been a single fight in the NHL in all of these games tonight. Hey, Nolan, how's that 1080p look? I bet it looks freaking good. I hope it looks freaking good. Let me check my fantasy baseball team while I got my phone out. Not great, but okay day today. All right. Is what it is. One game hasn't started yet with a player in it, so we'll see what he does. Is what it is. So no need for any NHL fight alert tweets tonight because, well, nope, no fights. So while we're intermission here, I just quickly want to say that if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. That obviously helps the channel out a lot. And I do hockey content from across the NHL, recorded and live. So as long as you're a fan of hockey, there's videos here for you. And if you haven't already, if you're enjoying this stream, please give it a thumbs up and hit that like button. That really helps out a lot with the algorithm and getting this video moved up in YouTube searches and stuff. So please give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying the stream and hit that subscribe button if you're not yet a subscriber. We're at intermission here. Capitals have a 2-1 lead over what the hell? Capitals have a 2-1 lead over the Canadiens. End of the second period. It's been a really good game, a really tight game. It feels like a playoff game. and pretty much everything is on the line for Montreal tonight. If they don't find a way to win this game, their chances of going to the playoffs go down to almost zero. So they really need to get the win tonight. They need to win out basically to have much of a chance. Yes, I do have a Twitter for the YouTube channel. Nolan, I'm gonna put it in. No, I do not have a twin. The YouTube channel Twitter is at Off the Wall Hawk on Twitter. So if you want to follow that, you can. The nickname for the Canadians, it's the Habs, and I don't know why they're called the Habs. I believe so. I think one of you in the chat told me this at some point, but I've forgotten by now. I don't know why the Canadians are called the Habs, but I know that that's what they're called. Hey, thanks for the follow, Nolan. Appreciate it. Do I have assists? I have 2. Oh, okay. All right, Eddie. That makes sense. That makes sense. I get that now. All right. Thanks for the follow, Nolan. Definitely appreciate that. Okay, so now I know why the Montreal Canadiens are the Habs. It goes back to being French, and the locals are the habitants. However you would say that in French, which I know zero French. So, but that does make sense now. Yeah, okay, so it's not the H in the middle of the logo, which is there if you look at the logo, but it's not that. Okay. Oh yeah, Guy Lafleur was an incredible player, all-time NHL great there for sure. Yes, Johnny, the Oilers are a trash heap. They should be much better than they are. They have 2 100-point scorers. They should be a playoff team, but they're not. What I don't know, TTC, exactly what games I'll be streaming in the first round. I'll figure that out as we get into it, and once the schedule's released, I'll have a better idea. But the NHL playoff schedule is not out yet, so I really don't know. We'll figure that out when the time comes. I know I will be streaming Wednesday night, the first night of the playoffs. I don't know what game it will be because I don't know who's playing that night, but whatever game I am watching personally that night, I will stream during. If Boston and Toronto play on Wednesday night, it will be Boston and Toronto. If Boston and Toronto don't play Wednesday, then it will be whatever other series I happen to pick to watch that night. I'll have to see what's on and what the schedule is. Yeah, Connor McDavid, that one dude, number 97, Connor McDavid is unreal. He is freaking incredible. I feel really, really bad for him that he's stuck on such a terrible team. Vaughn, I'm sure at some point I farted in class. I'm sure I probably tried to hide it as much as possible. But I'm sure it's happened before. Yeah, I saw that whole thing with Sportsnet, and they trashed on Lucic, and Lucic was like, "Oh, it's funny you didn't mention my 500th career point, but you mentioned my first road goal in 17 games." Yeah, that was just a typical Twitter exchange there. Let's not break my phone here. What time is it for me? Right now it is 8:51 p.m. where I am in the Eastern time zone. So hopefully here it's almost 9 o'clock. Hopefully we get back to action here soon. Intermission should be maybe not almost over, but coming to an end here quick. And we get back to action for the third period. We have a big third period. Montreal Canadiens in this game. And it should be an action-packed third of desperation for Montreal and Washington trying to hold this lead. When will I do an EA NHL live stream? I'm not sure yet. I don't know because I record videos on my phone now because the camera won't work right for record. It always freezes when I'm recording videos on my computer. So it's going to be harder to stream gaming on my phone, or not stream, but video gaming on my phone. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure when I'll get the chance to do a video game stream again. Hopefully soon. Hopefully I can get the video recording to stop streaming on my computer, or stop freezing on my computer. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. Yeah, the Kings suck. Lucic sucks. There's definitely some bad teams and bad players on bad contracts around in the NHL for sure. No, I don't think I can't talk because of one beer. I don't think one beer is hitting me. If I was on beer number 5 or 6, then I would say, okay, there's probably a reason I can't talk. But I don't think one beer is going to do it. That was a heck of a save by Price on Ovechkin. And then that big glove save on Verana. Carey Price is the reason that this game is not 4-1 Washington right now. Could easily be 4-5-1 Capitals, and it's not. The beer was good, TTC. And Vaughn, I don't know, because if I know nobody likes Gary Bettman, but if the NHL gets rid of Gary Bettman, then who do they replace him with? I worry a lot about who they would replace him with. So I don't know. That question goes way, way, way above my pay grade. That's for sure. I don't know, Danny, if Brendan Shanahan would become the commissioner of the NHL. I mean, he's got a pretty good gig going on in Toronto, where he basically runs the show up there. I don't know if he would step away from that to become the commissioner. I have no idea. Again, that's not even something I really look into because I don't know enough about it, and I goes way above my level. I just watch the games really. Like when you get to the league stuff like that, I really don't know. The NHL really doesn't have an owner. There's no singular owner of the NHL. It's a collection of the owners of the 31 teams, and they all agree to be part of this group that is the league, that is the NHL. It's basically there's no singular owner. It's the teams and the owners of the teams agreeing to all come together and join in one league. I just explained the ownership, lack thereof, of the NHL. Who is the founder of the NHL? I'm not sure. The league doesn't have any singular owner. There's no one person that owns the NHL. It's a conglomeration. It's a group of the 31 teams, and the owners of the 31 teams choosing to be in a league together and agreeing to be in a league together. And if there was ever a fight between, where 15 teams, you could see the league split if the teams wanted to split. Gary Bettman is employed by the owners of all the teams come together and pick the commissioner. No, Danny, Shanahan's not the director of player safety anymore. George Parros does player safety now. Shanahan is the president of hockey operations in Toronto. Gary Bettman is the commissioner. Again, the referees are paid by the league, which is a conglomeration of all 31 teams agreeing to be together. So we're back now for the third period. We are underway. Puck is dropped. Montreal needs a goal really badly here because they need to win this game. No, I have never seen a tornado in person in my life. Obviously, I've seen videos of tornadoes on TV and internet and stuff, but indirectly, yes, the teams pay the referees. The league pays the refs, but the league is all of these teams that came together and agreed to be in a league together. So there's no singular owner of the league. It has a board of governors. It has a commissioner, and it's all the teams agreeing to be together. Smelling salts, just they wake you up. Like that's such a ridiculous sensation when you smell smelling salts that it just immediately wakes you up. It clears your sinuses, and you're just like, holy crap, wow. It really just helps them get jacked up for the game, and immediately they get focused and get their mind sharp really quick. No, they're probably not hungover. It just gets them whatever that they like, that sensation and that rush before going out and playing. They like getting that shock to the system. Yes, tornadoes are definitely scary, especially if one is coming at you. And luckily, I live in an area where there really aren't tornadoes. All right, TTC, maybe I'll check that out after this game. Sounds funny. Yeah, Drew Doughty has not been good this season. I mean, the Kings in general have not been good this season. But Doughty's turned the puck over a lot. His plus minus is horrible. He was shit talking Matthew Tkachuk and Brent Burns. I think it was last week or maybe the week before now, but recently, and he's not really in a position to be talking shit because he's been terrible. The Kings are terrible. That's icing on the Capitals. So Montreal has come out hard here to start the third, and they're playing a good period so far, about 2.5 minutes in. They know how important this game is. They need this game. What NHL gaming tournament? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Transportation Land. What tournament? So Washington's struggling here to even get the puck out of their zone. And Montreal's really, really playing well to start this period. Here come the Canadiens out of their own end and into. Oh, that was a good shot from the point there for Montreal. Nice save by Holtby. I'm not familiar with Bill Daly, Vaughn. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with him. 2-on-1 for Washington. Oh, great back check. Who is that, Deneau? Great back check by the Canadiens. Maybe saved a goal. No, the Canadiens logo is not a toilet. Now here comes Washington out of their zone. Oshie has the puck. But good layers defensively from Montreal, and they bring it right back the other way. They turn the puck over, though. But then Washington turns it right back. Easy glove save, though, for Holtby on Andrew Shaw. And just over 4 minutes into the third period, it's still 2-1 Washington. But Montreal has had a very, very good start to the period for sure. So here comes Washington trying to break out of their zone, but that was a bad breakout pass. Luckily, they regained possession. And Ovechkin gets his shot blocked out of play by Weber. We'll have another whistle here with 15:05 left in the third period. So it's really crunch time here for the Canadiens. 15 minutes. They have to score in the next 15 minutes. They need to win this game. Hey, there you go, TTC. And no, Vaughn, I do not watch Robot Chicken. I don't even think I've ever seen an episode of Robot Chicken. I don't watch it at all. That was a bad failed clear there by Montreal, but now luckily they do get it out. No, they don't. They turn it over. Seemed like a sure out, and they turn it over. That is bad. And now Washington with possession in the offensive zone here, and they're able to forecheck and hunt the puck. But now Montreal does clear it and dump it all the way back into the Washington end. Yes, I do watch Family Guy. And I do remember the episode where at the end of the episode, Family Guy mentions Robot Chicken, and Peter is trashing Robot Chicken, and Chris is trying to defend it. I don't remember the exact back and forth, but I do remember them mentioning it and it being really funny. Because Peter was basically like, Robot Chicken is a garbage show, and Chris was like, Robot Chicken is a very underrated show, and they just have a back and forth about it, and it was funny. Domi couldn't get in the zone there, and now Washington clears it back down. Hey, Goal Horns, welcome back. Appreciate you coming back and stopping in. Oh, bad turnover there by Washington. Luckily, they were able to block the shot. Lehkonen just had would have been a great chance, but the shot got blocked quickly. Now here comes Washington back the other way. Oh, nice save by Price there. That was a huge, huge save for Carey Price and the Canadiens. Tomas Kopecky, yeah, definitely. I remember him playing for the Panthers, and where else did he play? He played a few places. Chicago. But I definitely remember him, so that's definitely a guy that I could do in the future for sure. In fact, we're due for one of those videos tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. And I'll just record it in the morning and then schedule it to post at 7 p.m. No, I am not a Slava Voinov fan. Absolutely not. I don't know who it's going to be, Goal Horns. We'll find out tomorrow when I record it. I literally pick those things right as I'm about to do them. I'll just be like, all right, I need somebody to do this, and then I'll just pick somebody, look at their stats and career, and then start recording. Oh, the Cleveland show was trash. That was not a funny show at all. I'm sorry, Nolan. I'm totally opposite of you on that. Family Guy is great. American Dad is okay. Cleveland show was garbage. The Cleveland show was not funny. I'll probably not be able to change your mind on it, but I think I did not like the Cleveland show. I don't even think American Dad is that funny. They're hit or miss episodes. Family Guy is definitely the number one funniest out of, those animated Seth MacFarlane shows. Not really. I've seen MASH. I've seen my sister used to watch MASH quite a bit, actually. So I'm familiar with the show, but I don't actively watch a lot of it, no.
St. Louis leads Philly 5-3 after one. Back to DC. All right, baseball, and a look at the way the Central Division looks right now. A couple of teams trying to play spoiler on Saturday, Arizona and Chicago. One of those teams. Is Voinov even allowed back in the league? Because last I checked, he was under indefinite suspension from the NHL, and his case was under review, but I don't think he's even allowed back into the league as of yet. Maybe he will be next season.
but he's been over in Russia. So we're down to the final 12 minutes here. And it's still 2-1 Capitals, and that is definitely offsides. That was definitely offsides.
To the Montreal Canadiens, who are chasing both the Carolina Hurricanes and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, Columbus is off tonight, but certainly on the out-of-town board, a lot of eyes being peeled.
Oh, this Eastern Conference race is so tight. Carolina at 95, Columbus at 94, Montreal at 94. Columbus with the Rangers tomorrow and Ottawa Saturday. Montreal with Washington tonight and Toronto on Saturday. Oh, my God. Oh, God, goal horns. That is such a smash. That is what Vaughn was asking earlier, hottest female athletes. Allie Raceman, when she was in the Olympics, was just talk about having a celebrity crush. Number one athlete crush right there was Allie Raceman. Absolute smash. She is so hot. James Wisniewski? No, what? That's interesting. Hey, welcome back, Derek. Welcome back. Appreciate you stopping back in. Oh, Derek, you have missed one of the wildest chats we've had probably ever on this channel tonight. All over the place, topic-wise, all kinds of stuff. It's been nuts. But yes, Allie Raceman, oh my God, is such a smash. She is so hot. RJ Umberger, that would be a really good one for Remember Him. Philadelphia, then Columbus, pretty good NHL career. Maybe I'll do Umberger tomorrow because that is a top-notch Remember Him candidate right there. Yeah, Johnny, a lot of people are picking Bolts and Jets. They're two very good teams, so I can see why. But again, you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. Trump is a hard pass from me because I am not gay. So any guy is a hard pass from me. Derek, while you're here, I have to say I'm glad that you added me on Snapchat because your Snap stories are hilarious. They are so fun. Like when I look at your stories, it just like brings me back to high school and even middle school with some of the things, and just it's like I get so nostalgic watching your Snap stories because it literally reminds me of when I was your age. And I fucking love your stories, dude. So keep them coming. Nolan, I don't care. That's literally something that I do not care at all about. Her nose is a little big. That means nothing. Incredible save by Carey Price there. Incredible save by Carey Price to keep it 2-1. Do I have an embarrassing moment at school? Man, I'm sure at some point I did something embarrassing, or I definitely do. I can't think of any particular moment off the top of my head right now, but if I really thought hard about it and looked back, there's no way I went through all of school without having a incredibly embarrassing moment. So it's definitely happened at some point. I just can't think of anything particular off the top of my head. Man, this chat has been fantastic tonight. This chat has been so fun tonight. Is Ryan Donato the most embarrassing player in the NHL? Definitely not. Listen, I hated Donato this year in Boston. I hated him in Providence. Thought he was garbage. He's done well since going to Minnesota, although he has cooled off recently. But I don't think he's the most embarrassing player in the NHL. That's not true. All right. Yeah, Derek, I got the notification. I'm going to I'm gonna look at this now and see what it is. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I appreciate that, Derek. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely tell your friends to subscribe to Off the Wall Hockey and add me. If you want to add me on Snap and Instagram, go right ahead. I'm not like overly private with those things. Listen, most of you guys are like younger kids. Most of you guys are younger than me, and I'm a pretty young guy too. So, like, I don't think any of you are pedophiles or axe murderers or anything like that. So, if you want to add me on that shit, go for it. If you try and hunt me down and kill me, I can guarantee you I'll kill you first. So, if in case any of you are a murderer trying to stalk me or something, I will kill you first, believe me. But most of you, yeah, feel free to add me. Most of you younger than me anyway. No, I don't have Bryce Harper on Instagram, so I did not see his Instagram video. Oh, huge save again from Carey Price. Wow. He is keeping this Canadiens team in it. Wow. Huge save from Price. Yeah, the Sharks have not been good lately. A lot of the top teams in the West are kind of stumbling into the playoffs. San Jose hasn't been good. Winnipeg hasn't been good. Nashville hasn't been good. Calgary's still playing pretty well. But 3 out of the 4 top teams in the West are not playing well heading into the playoffs. I think that's going to make things interesting. We'll see if they can kick it into gear once they do get to the playoffs. And we'll, or if that kind of slump kind of carries over into the first round and it takes them a couple of games to get going. We'll see how that actually turns out. Am I? Well, I'm not joking, Panther. If anyone is stalking my channel to try and find out where I live or anything, I will kill them first. I'm 100% sure of that. I haven't checked out-of-town scores in a while here. Lightning are about to win. Let's see if that's the case as I pull the scores up. As Carey Price continues to make phenomenal saves. So the Sabres are now up by 2 on Ottawa, 4-2. Lightning are up on the Maple Leafs 2-1 with 3 minutes left. So yes, Lightning do look like they are about to win. Islanders are still up 1-0 on the Panthers. Penguins are now up 4-1 on the Red Wings. So that looks like that's over. Capitals 2, Canadiens 1, Hurricanes 2, Devils 1. Blues and Flyers. Flyers have gotten that back to 5-3, so they're actually making it a game. Canucks are up 2-1 on the Predators. God, Nashville needs to get their shit together. Jets and Avalanche are 0-0. Oilers are beating the Sharks 1-0. That's embarrassing for San Jose. Boston's up 1-0 on the Wild, and Vegas and Arizona play at 10. Wow. Interesting night in the NHL for sure. Okay. So Voinov is trying to come back, but he's not officially back yet. That makes sense. I don't have thoughts on that. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. I'm just here for the hockey, not politics. Go to the White House. Don't. It doesn't matter to me. Do whatever. It's up to you.
Hagelin will turn. Jordy Ben back out to Montreal. And Armia's pass in stride will catch Drouin. Shot in wide. Fired into the right wing corner. And now his wheel will peel in toward the trapezoid in behind Braden Holtby. Boy, the effort certainly there from Montreal, but his quality chances they were getting in the first period early on seemed like a while ago. Here are the Caps to the other end of a shot from Boyd.
Oh my God. Yeah, Martin Jones's save percentage isn't great. Nolan, I'm going to put my Snapchat in the chat right now. You can add me. It's also my Instagram, so if you want to follow on Instagram, or you don't have to, obviously, but if you're looking for that too, it's the same thing, at John Duncan 27. But that's my Snap and Instagram for anyone who wants to follow me on either platform. Do I say the N-word? No. My skin is far too white to say the N-word, so no, I don't say it. Here we go. Capitals in 3-on-2, and they turn the puck over. Nice back check there. So now Montreal is coming up the other way.
There's a lobster in our hot tub.
Oh, you guys. There's a jet. Oh, I needed this.
No, I can't believe how easy it was to save hundreds of dollars on a car insurance with Geico. We've been doing this a long time ago.
So you guys stay at the hotel?
Yeah, we just got married.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm afraid of commitment. You know, I'm being boiled alive.
Oh, shit.
Believe it. Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance. I got some worse. This is a large 3-topping pizza from Domino's. You can carry one out for $7.99 every day. This is a 3-topping handmade pan pizza from Domino's, and now you can also carry one out for $7.99 every day. This is a logo from Domino's, and this is a commercial from Domino's. Every time a vacation day.
I ain't no Reese's. Oh my God.
Every time your favorite getaway.
Jesus. Oh my God, Derek. That's ridiculous. No, the game's not done. It's on commercial now. Hey, TTC, welcome back. Thanks for stopping back. Hey, Panthers scored, and that's a 1-1 game now between the Islanders and Panthers. Wow.
That's why we're rewarding you for eating any pizza you love. Pizza from here? Yep. Homemade pizza? I guess. New York style. Deep dish. Any pizza.
Damn.
Domino's app, you can earn points for free Domino's pizza. Paul Burmeister in the studio. Islanders and the Panthers. New York up 1. Look at the pass from Keith Yandel. Jonathan Huberdeau finishes his 29th. Elsewhere, Pittsburgh leads 4-1 on Detroit. Sure is a lot of good news for the Pittsburgh Penguins in all of that as they try to catch the Islanders with one game to go, Joe. And if they do, home ice certainly going to be important in those two teams meet.
The thing when you play Florida is that if it's close, you better keep defending because they are an excellent offensive team. Their problem is haven't been able to keep the puck out of their depth receiver. So they can score.
They have bitten a couple of really good teams recently, Washington and Boston both. As a wrapper on a tip from Lehkonen, denied at the near post. Time may be running out on Montreal, but all they need is one. Capitals meanwhile with Brada dropping it back to Kuznetsov to the middle and a shot blocked.
So we're down to the final 5 minutes here. Washington is still up 2-1 over Montreal. And Carey Price is the only reason that Montreal is still in this game. It could easily be 5-6-1 Washington. And Carey Price keeps making save after save. And it goes off Price. Another huge save from Carey Price with 4:07 left. Wow. Oh, Nick Andropov. There's another good one for sure. Man, Goldhorns, you have some great candidates for Remember Him. Absolutely. Yeah, Sharks Blues in the West Finals would be nuts. Blues have played really, really well the second half of the season. They're a dangerous team for sure. If they can get by Winnipeg and Nashville, that would put them in the West Final, and that would be interesting for sure. The only thing with the Blues is they do have a franchise history of losing in the playoffs. They just never seem to do well in the playoffs, especially recently. All those good teams in the late 2000s, early 2010s, where the Blues were a powerhouse team year after year after year, they just never could go far in the playoffs. So that's kind of become a franchise stigma for them, is that they can't win in the postseason. But it's a new year. They're a third seed this year. The expectations are a little lower. They're not going to be the favorite in their first round series. So maybe this year they actually do go deep and make it to a conference final. Nice save there I think the shot went high, but Holtby did a good job covering the short side there. Yeah, well, the Sharks did make it to the Stanley Cup final a few years ago. However, historically, they are a choking team as well, a team that has a lot of early exits in their franchise history as far as the playoffs are concerned. But the Blues are pretty good. The Sharks are good. They have franchise history of losing in the playoffs. Oh, that was an absolute massive hit there by Brooks Orpik. And now the Capitals clear. And here comes Ovechkin. Nice save by Price. Yeah, Michael Kempny is out long term. He's injured. I don't remember exactly what happened. I just remember hearing that he's out like 5 to 6 months, I think. Yeah, that was a huge hit by Orpik. Love physical hockey. That's good shit right there. We'll give Kempny the F. Final 2 minutes. Montreal trailing 2-1 in a must-win game to keep their playoff hopes alive. And they're down by a goal. They have to score one here. So you got to think at under 2 minutes now, Price is going to be coming to the bench at the first opportunity. And he's coming right now. Oh, no, they turn the puck over, but quickly get it back. So they have the puck in the neutral zone now. Montreal has possession. Carey Price is on the bench. Empty net with 1:20 left. Montreal has to score a goal. Almost down to the final minute now. Montreal can't gain any sort of possession in the offensive zone. Down to under final minute, down to 50 seconds here. Montreal needs to get the puck with possession into the zone. They've had possession but been kept out into the neutral zone time and time again. Oh, Gallagher with the shot wide. That was a good chance, and that's a clear for Washington. Final 35 seconds. I'm sorry, I'm not reading the chat here. I am fully focused on this game. Montreal still unable to get the puck into the zone. Final 20 seconds. And the puck goes into the Capitals bench. And that is just about going to do it. Wow. The whole final minute and a half of the game, Montreal with the extra attacker on cannot even get possession in the offensive zone to score the game-tying goal. Now they're calling a timeout. There's only 18 seconds left. The puck's going to be in the neutral zone for the faceoff. This is this is it. This fully puts the Columbus Blue Jackets in the driver's seat as far as getting that final playoff spot, because they have 2 games remaining to Montreal's 1, and those games are against the Rangers and the Ottawa Senators, who they should beat. Columbus should win both of those games. Montreal's remaining game is against Toronto, which is not going to be an easy game, and they would need Columbus to lose probably both remaining games for Montreal now to get in. All right, I'm going to try and catch up on the chat here. No, I have no idea how long Jesse Puljujarvi's out. All right. Yeah, I got the Snapchat. I'll check it, Derek. Final 10 seconds here. Montreal in the offensive zone, but not really with strong possession. And now that's a clear for Washington. 2-1, game over. The Washington Capitals win 2-1. I believe that now that locks them in. Yes, they are now the Metro Division winners for this year. They will be the first seed in the Metro Division. The Islanders cannot catch them. And Montreal, that is pretty much it. That is pretty much it for Montreal as far as making the playoffs. They would need a lot to go their way for them to get in now. Okay, so yeah, the Lightning are going to play the Blue Jackets in the first round most likely, and the Bolts will definitely win that. Habs will not make the playoffs. Let's see what else. Are you subscribed to L? No, I'm not. What time do I go to bed? Depends on the night, usually between 11 and midnight. Pittsburgh 4-1 over Detroit, so Pittsburgh looks like they're going to win. Panther, my Snapchat is at John Duncan 27. I just put it in the chat there. That is my Snapchat and Instagram if you want to add me. Carolina with the win over New Jersey. That's looking good. Yeah. What time will I go to bed? Probably around 11. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. That felt like a playoff game for sure. That was a whole lot of fun. Really tight checking defensive game, and it ended 2-1. Washington did what they had to do to hold on. Could have easily been 5 or 6-1 Capitals, but Carey Price really kept the Canadiens in this with some huge saves. Montreal really couldn't get the offense going tonight, and this is a tough loss for them. Pretty much ends their playoff chances. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this stream. Tonight was a really, really fun one. I greatly enjoyed it. This is definitely going to be the last one before the playoffs start. So the next time we're here all together in a live stream will be playoff hockey Wednesday night. Don't know which series yet. Don't know which game. But it will be game 1 of whatever series I'm watching Wednesday night, and it should be a whole lot of fun. So hope to see you guys there. Thank you very much for watching this one tonight. Carolina just finaled against New Jersey with a 3-1 win. That locks them into the playoffs. So Carolina, for the first time since 2009, are going to the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's going to be fun to watch them. And pretty much that's it. So if you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If I know most of you are. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please give this a thumbs up. It helps out a lot with the stream. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Tell your friends if they like hockey to check out this channel. It's been real. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys can add me on Snapchat and Instagram. Panther, what's your Snapchat? I'll add you before I go. I'm gonna leave here pretty soon. Nolan, I just added. Panther, what's your Snapchat? I'll try and add you. Yeah, you just came up. I just added you, dude. You're added. So welcome to my Snapchat. Hopefully you have some funny stories too. Yeah, you're in. Yeah, Justin Perez and Houston Astros gear. All right. So thank you guys so much again. I'm going to end the stream now. This was a really fun one. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. And see you guys for the playoffs. And I'll definitely be obviously doing recorded videos. With that, see you guys next time. And I'll see y'all in the comment section. And definitely going to get an NHL Bracket Challenge group going. So if you're interested in that, be on the lookout. I'll have all the details in a video probably on Sunday or Monday. And with that, see you guys later. Thanks.